everybody. We are back with another interview for the Road to GEW, and this has just been a whirlwind. We are on our final day. I don't know, we might have a little bit of surprise next week. We'll see what happens. But we have just been having some really great conversations with different entrepreneurs and different leaders in the Las Vegas area and a few outside as well. And just again, highlighting what it's like to have a business and be in the ecosystem of Las Vegas and everything that's possible, what can happen here. So I am so excited to welcome these two guys. Some of you may be familiar with who these gentlemen are because they may have dropped off some treats to your door. And so I will allow them to introduce themselves. So welcome, you guys.
Yeah, you guys doing? I'm Toan.
I'm Chad. We're Bake the Cookie Shop here in Las Vegas.
Excuse me. And yeah, so I finally got to meet you both in person last week and got to try these amazing cookies. Amazing. I'm just like, oh man, nailed the flavor. And so I would love to just hear about, because I kind of heard, I know a little bit about your background and kind of like your evolution of coming here. So what was the inspiration behind Bake? Excuse me.
I think it was just over COVID. We started making a lot of food. We just started playing with a lot of things. And then my girlfriend really likes cookies. And then I was trying to remake one of her favorite cookies. And then we were just playing around with other chocolate chip cookies. And then everybody started tasting them. And then we just started going from there. And then just grew.
Yeah. So, excuse me.
You're good.
All of a sudden, choking on air over here. So you have, just been like delivery for a while. You're getting ready to, open your own shop. That's been an adventure.
Absolutely.
So I'd love for you to share just some of the obstacles, the challenges, what's been exciting about it. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest obstacle for us is most people want dessert on demand. They want it when they want it.
Yeah.
And we're very fortunate to have built a very loyal, customer base that will order in advance and schedule it and plan. But everyone asks us, like, when are you going to open? And our response is, we're open. It's just you got to order it, and shipping. We ship nationwide. We ship all over,
nice.
And then delivery all through local Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been very, very very amazing to see how well we've been received through the Las Vegas community. So many Las Vegas foodies and other businesses supporting us, and just highlighting the product is making it extremely fun for us. We're just having fun.
Yeah.
Going out and we met you at Startup Vegas, and then you know what I mean. It's just like being able to just connect with someone Like we just happen to sell really good cookies, but the presentation is a lot of service behind it. I mean, we like to say it is, or happens to sell cookies.
I love that. I mean, that's what really drew my attention. I reached out to you, 'cause you guys went to
A lot of things that are more town board. It took I think the first month I was so young. I was on.
Oh yeah.
So fast. I was like, I don't want to.
That's kind of somewhat of what happens too. It is also the wall, like everything stripped. That's like, no, we don't do that. Yeah, but I was able to go check out the new museum yesterday. I got to go do that. And sometimes strip, it can be like a very humbling moment. Like it's like if you were able to middle of you know, like the Grand Canyon, and you're just looking, you're like, holy smokes, like I live here. This is my home. So it's kind of it can be very humbling sometimes of wow. And I just got it in the way of, you know, I have friends that like live on the coast, whether it's East Coast, West Coast, doesn't matter. And they like never go to the beach. And, you know, I don't know if you guys kind of did the same thing. I would go there. And so I'm like, but I would go there like for like a few months. And same thing with here, I think, for the strip. It's like, oh yeah, I never could, because it's like, but we don't do that. Whether we go and we say,
Vegas is bubble driven. I've realized that. I'm California, we drive 30-40 minutes for food all the time. Now
people are like, it's 10 minutes away. I'm not doing it.
If it's in my 5-minute bubble,
that's what I'm starting to learn.
Yeah,
bubble,
like,
we're bad.
Over.
Vegas is bad.
2 blocks? No, that's too far.
You're like, no, can't do it.
That's an obstacle. We're hoping that we are a little more centrally located for our first location, but we feel like we cater more to the B2B side anyways. So, but my thought is, oh yeah, well, let me know when you open one in Summerlin. And it's like, or Henderson. It's like, you told me when I opened.
Yeah, you're like, we'll be there. So yeah, so I would really love for you to share kind of the process behind you guys identifying like where you wanted to go for a location, deciding to have a location. Like what really was that? Was it maybe the driver of people wanting things right away, or what was that?
I think we just grew out of our kitchen.
Yeah.
So that was the big driver. The evolution of us just
keep forcing the growth. At every stage, we've kind of like we go here and then we push on that system. It's like, oh shoot, we need the next one.
We keep trying the next step, and it just keeps pushing us. Like, this is the next step now. Let's just give it a shot. See what happens.
Yeah. So for you guys, because I know you have worn different hats in different industries, and so just from like a business standpoint, an entrepreneurial standpoint, what are some of the skill sets that you acquired in those other roles that you are pulling in, and you're kind of noticing like, oh wow, okay, yeah, I learned.
I didn't know we'd be doing social media content management. I didn't realize that was the piece of the puzzle that is so important. And we didn't realize that we'd end up doing a lot of video content creation and doing that stuff where it's like, oh man, there's a full-time job just doing this.
Yes.
Where it's, what's our strategy? How are we going forward with the brand? Like what are we doing in the community? How are we highlighting it to where we're not just showing cookies? Like we sell cookies, anyone can sell cookies.
Yeah.
How do we make it cool and different? How do we spin it different and get involved with the community and make it engaging? And
I think you guys have nailed it.
We're trying. It's been an evolution, and if you go back in the Instagram, it's funny. It's like,
you're gonna like,
we leave it. And man, our box evolution, which is about to change in here in the next week or two, it's gonna step up one more time and be a little even more like cleaner and just provide like a little more element to it. That's ours, finally. Right now, we've been putting nice stickers on. Get rid of that. They're printed and beautiful.
You're like, ooh, okay.
Yeah, it'll be
up,
nice.
Right?
Yeah. And just we do every piece of the puzzle. So it's like, he's more of the back end of like the cookies and themselves and coming up with what's coming out in the next few months. And then me and his brother handle more, the business side of it and trying to grow the business and where we're going and picking the location. Initially, we were thinking there was a spot at Town Square, and it was an old cookie spot, the edible cookie dough. We wanted it for temporary. Yeah. And they at first said yes, and then they're like, "Oh, we're going to demo the building. It's still there.
Yeah,
and
of course it's
still vacant."
Yeah. Like, well, that's on you.
So we went a block up and just happened to see this spot that was brand new, and we liked the coffee shop being next to it. We always thought that we want some other traffic. But the rolling,
Pikey Coffee.
Yeah, Pikey Coffee. Everyone over there, they're amazing people. They've been huge supporters of us.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and
we welcomed us to that street. We were the first ones there. And Kyoto Ramen. So they've both been great though. They've been nice.
Yeah, and really, I would love for you to share more about that as far as, again, because being an entrepreneur, there is that argument of like, it's so lonely at the top and it's a lonely journey and it's hard. And we've talked about this a lot with different guests of a lot of it just comes down to mindset and how you decide to approach it and perceive it. But with you guys really going in and kind of like really like infiltrating yourselves in the community and with other business owners, what would you say as like just maybe some advice too of different ways of doing that for somebody else?
Just really put yourself out there. I mean, sometimes it's nerve-wracking to go out to the business and introducing yourselves, and it's kind of weird to go in there.
Yeah.
But that's what we've been doing and pushing on it. But that's how we've made the most connections, like Glendale.
Yeah.
We've done that through them. They've been amazing with us. They've worked with us so much. They've helped us out so much with everything.
Yeah,
absolutely. The Galindo group has been a huge advocate of us. And we just happened to one day walk in the door and
I saw Josh again at the gym.
And we just dropped off a box because we know that it could benefit real estate agents. We know where we're trying to go, but we also saw what they were doing all the time. Like they're constantly on the social media and going out and doing things in the community.
Yeah.
And it just felt like a good synergy of brands, and it was like we like that's how we try to like strategize. Like, all right, let's click with those type of people and try to ride with them.
Yeah, and I think that's arguably true everywhere, but I feel especially here in Vegas, it really is about what are you doing? What is the give back? And I know that's conversations that I've had with other people that we've grown up here, and so it really is looking at, there are so many people that want to do things but then accomplish and is it really for like a give and a take and that reciprocity, or is it very one-sided? And so it's nice to see and it's refreshing. And I think especially, as a local, like we really do embrace that when we see the authenticity, we see that somebody is genuine and they're like, no, bro, just bring me some cookies.
The perk is that we bring cookies.
I mean, that is. It's like
in the door.
So one step better is if you brought puppies.
Sometimes it's been funny because sometimes we'll go in there and they kind of give us the look like we're salesy, but now we're doing just jump you off the box.
It's a lot better. It's massive. and that's what it's, everybody's like, oh, how do you differentiate yourself from crumble?
Mhm.
And for us, that was initially, I think it was kind of at first a hard question to answer because we were new and we were like, I don't know, we're a cookie shop. But then as we worked through the process, and it was like, we started evolving our packaging and making sure the individual packaging was a big thing for us. The quality, like when you get to places, they dry out and it doesn't last as long, or you're forced to eat the whole thing right away, or it goes bad.
Yeah.
So, and we're like, we could change and add a few things to it. And then he's been adding, like they do a lot of high turnover cookies where they're frosted and they're flavored that way. And it's great. We love some of the stuff they do, but we're like, hey, there's people who want to try something different too.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
And then we can spin on the Asian flavor. A lot of my wife is Filipino and he's Vietnamese, and they kind of collaborate a lot on like, hey, let's try this,
cool.
let's try this. And
I love that. And so there's a really good friend of mine, she's a former client, a little plug for Lotus, who owns the Coffee Religion.
Oh,
and right,
one of the best coffee shops.
Oh my god, yeah! Easily. If you haven't been there, just go.
I mean, walk in, it's amazing place.
But just something that really drew me to her, just not, I mean, the ambiance and all the flavors, but that's something she's done really well. Is she knows flavors really well. She knows how flavors complement one another, and it's that infusion of culture. And so I just feel like even just something with cookies, like you wouldn't think that you're like, oh, it's just a cookie. But when you can bring somebody's awareness to something different and maybe infusing some culture, infusing spices or flavors or whatever that is, because you're like that's that, what's that one purple one that you guys have?
Ube. Oh, that's our best seller.
And one of the best.
And
you guys nailed it.
Just yesterday, like, we had a guy, we were trying the box, and he's like, oh, I almost didn't grab this one because it's purple.
Yeah, because it's
different.
I was
like, I know, I feel that because I'm the same person where it's like, what's funny?
Just close your eyes.
I haven't even tried it.
What?
When we get to the store, I will officially try it. It's been my thing.
We need that on video. Okay, get it on film.
It'll be the official, like, I promise I've not tasted it, and it's the only one I'm like, I'm not trying that to get the store. Everybody swears by it, because at first I was like, no, I want a purple cookie.
Yeah. It's so
but
good.
Everybody swears by it, and I'm always like, now I push it on people. You gotta try it.
Yeah,
and yeah, I don't
try
try
it.
You
gotta try this one. It's amazing. It's
even
great.
if you don't pick it, I'm like,
just try it.
Yeah, we'll do a video when I first try it. It'll be fun.
Yes, that's a must for sure. So, talking about just, entrepreneurship and really just all the different pieces that can go into that. What would be maybe just like share one tips or advice as far as, again, like bringing something to share?
I'd say for me, I'm like, if you want to do it, you will find the way. And that's, I think, ultimately we saw other people doing it, and we just bet on ourselves to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And for us, it was a stage. It wasn't like, oh, I'll bet. Like, with a few people. Is it right? People, so it's hard to bet it.
Yeah.
My family's like, oh yeah. But it's like, will you buy it? And they're like,
it's a no.
Exactly. But we landed a couple right off the gate for that hyper exposure. To try it, like, and from there they're like, come up to us after the event and then we do this for this.
Yeah.
Something weird though. And if we start playing cookies, we're huge. Now that we were so scale it back because
said what we're kept changing.
Yeah,
writing stuff now. So I need to change that.
That leads to a really good
So we with the board of advisors. So case and CEO and we've okay, so do stopping advice. Like,
we want we have a couple of ideas. No. Whole other skill set.
I work at Tribes helping them, and it's a
same thing when you come into this store. That's the
Yeah.
no, yeah, we love it. Yeah, our place is
Seriously?
great.
And what else is out there? And crumble cookies is the one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
But it's very just transactional. And
Mhm.
so yeah, so just kind of again, I think that you guys, it sounds like you're very more of like the extent that
Yeah, we
customer.
don't a lot what you were saying, transactional.
Yeah.
And
Or even like
Yeah.
Mrs. in the mall.
you sort of feel good.
That's another.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure that out right now. We see a lot of places that, but does that take?
Uh-huh.
Does it? Do you? Because I want to talk to somebody when I walk into a store
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so many places are deflecting you to
Yeah.
that stupid kiosk. I'm like, okay.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Is that my old? Like,
I know. I'm like, is our age showing?
yeah, that's all. I'm like, hey, I don't know.
But I still feel like, again, that goes into like your business, and then really just in your life is generally we want to attract like what we are and who we are.
Mhm.
And so really going into like, again, you said like the values and making that alignment, like you want that with your customers too.
Yeah.
And so you want to, if that's something that's important to you, and it's this is where you're going and you're going to create, those are the customers you're going to attract. You're going to attract those ones that like they want to go there because they want to connect with you and they want to connect with your product and the other people in the space. And then it really almost comes like its own like community, and
Yeah.
it takes on a life of its own.
That's how I kind of envision it becoming.
Mhm.
It's somewhere you just want to stop by.
Yeah, you're like, no, I just
Hey,
want to
what's
hang
up?
out. I just want to be here.
Let's say what's up. Let's take a look.
Yes. Awesome. So what is the timeline looking like for opening?
Framing's done, plumbing's done, electrical's done.
It's like we're all gonna hope and pray.
We're hoping to make early December our biggest time of
like
the year.
anybody
It's
that
holidays.
is dealing with anything out there is like city, any officials that are involved.
Permitting, any
Yeah,
of that
like,
do the health, Clark County
please.
guys, give us some love when you come to check us out. Luckily,
Yeah.
we really don't need much. It's a bakery that we run style. There's no open flame.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of, it's really minimal. It's like we just need to have all the right stuff in the right places so they can go, hey,
Yeah.
you're good to go.
Yeah.
Because our ovens a walk-in oven, our mixer's a walk-in mixer. You know what I mean? You don't need anything. We just have 3 fridges, 4 fridges.
Nice.
So it's very lean as far as what's inside, but it's more like, hey, when they walk in, is it in the right places and everything's up to,
Yeah.
and everybody's on their game when they need to be there.
Yeah. Have you ran into any obstacles when it comes to any like permitting, like licensures, like any?
Find out like halfway through construction that we didn't have enough fire those things, those sprinklers.
Yeah.
It was a certain one in a certain location needed to be moved. It was an extra $2,500 just. Well, yep, you got it. And I'm like, oh, you got me.
Like, I feel like that was supposed to be somebody's job. But
Oh yeah, that's what I said. Isn't these plans?
Like,
Didn't I tell everybody what we were doing before? We talked about
yeah,
this.
we all agreed, right?
And everybody checked boxes on it.
There was a lot of head scratches.
Yeah.
We worked through that.
I don't think that's normal though. So I think that everybody's like, hey, that's pretty standard. So.
Okay. But that's good to hear too, because again, it's when you're having to go through these different things, it can be interesting.
Yeah,
and so yeah.
When you're funding yourself is fun.
Yeah.
It's like,
A lot of fun parts.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually curious to hear like kind of some of your takeaways, or maybe was there anything that you guys learned at the event, and any like was there some like talent?
Be preparing your pitch and those convey audience.
Yeah.
But then know your stuff because those man. Yeah, like we just cook it
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Do you like them? Oh, all right.
This isn't for you.
Yeah, like some stuff very complicated, intricate. So it's we're trying to add more
Which is
stuff.
what it's asking pretty much. So
Yeah.
you kind of plug in those
We get
holes.
asked
Yeah.
for this enough times, but all right, we're going out.
Okay,
It's pretty
we'll try
easy
it
to
out.
do that. Yeah. For us, need like that.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. One day, maybe, hopefully, we can scale it. I need a really powerhouse website.
Right. Well, I think we know.
That is,
No. Yeah. About Entrepreneurship Week movement or yeah, so just like we're really plugged into the pizza world via
Love it.
him, but also we just love pizza. I mean, who doesn't love pizza?
will
And then we get
trade.
pizza and cookies. I mean, man.
Anyone wants to trade for cookies, pizza, we're
Yeah.
always interested.
Yeah, Christina, are you listening?
Yeah,
About
sure.
that?
Anywhere.
Gladly. We
For
love
cookies.
pizza.
For
Yes,
all day.
right. Well, no. So what? Just to kind of like wrap us up,
Yeah.
bring us in. Please, share like all the ways to get in touch with you, the location again, and just give your plugs. Do it up. You got the time. You got the
You
space.
can check us out on our website, Bake the Cookie Shop. That's SHOPPE shop.
We're fancy.
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok. We're on Facebook, YouTube.
All the channels.
Yeah, all the channels.
Yeah.
Bake the SHOPPE.
Yeah, 2 P's and
Start spelling it out. It'll pop.
That should be
Our new locations come on 6430 South, right next to Pikey Coffee, and we're home in less than 30 days. See you in person.
Yes.
Yeah.
celebration.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a DJ.
Yeah.
DJ. Getting this and people, businesses, and
I just want to thank everybody for raising their hand and participating